Peace and blessings, family. Sister Ajali, my condolences and my ashe to the spirit of Coolio and to his family and his friends, those who were close to him and his fans, of whom I was one. I really enjoyed Gangster's Paradise. But what I'm here, of course, to speak on is his very early demise. Trust and believe ain't nobody wanting to clock out at 59 unless you're like doing it on purpose. Uh, and looking at his life, this is a brother who really enjoyed the mark he made in history. And so I wish him a sincere ashe in no, just kind of figuring, dude didn't want to go out at 59 years old. And as always, I'm going to say this is happening more frequently for all various reasons. But the one they never ever discuss is the man-made radiation, which I've studied extensively, and Dr. Yuri Bandashevsky, who autopsied the bodies of people who died surrounding the Chernobyl explosion, identified what he called, here I have it on my Instagram account still, because all my memes are gone, but actually I have more memes on my Instagram account. It is a condition called cesium cardiomyopathy. And through his investigation, saw that it was a radiation that would lodge in the heart muscle itself. He had spectrometers, lots and lots of them, and he found that this condition happened only in those who had been ingesting food tainted with Chernobyl isotopes. He's also recently tested to find out that the soil surrounding Chernobyl is just as radioactive today, and this is over 30 years later, as it was when Chernobyl, right after Chernobyl first blew up. They've also found out the same thing with Fukushima soil. That it is just as contaminated today. And this is despite the decontamination efforts that dredged up millions of 1-ton bags of dirt and debris and leaves and all the rest of it from Fukushima. Yet the FDA has now allowed food grown and harvested, that would include the fish, in the Fukushima region to be imported into the U.S. with absolutely no understanding of where, or no, disclosure on where that food is going to wind up. It doesn't have to be identified for any of this. And I've been warning about that specifically for several, I guess, a couple months now, because the effects of radiation are real. There are going to be people who are going to say, oh, did he get the injokable? And that's more than possible. That's why the censorship is still going in terms of disclosing the facts about that particular, invasion into our very bloodstreams. But all of these creatures that I've highlighted, they did not roll up their sleeves. You're looking at a carp fish that was caught. Not exactly sure. This is the news agency Vesa, but they're calling it the Chernobyl fish. Not because it was tested for radiation, but because people are making a correct assumption that this is a result of radiation. Now, I think it was Brother Unmute me, I do believe, and I'm always forgetting your name, brother, because they're always taking down your account on IG. Uh, they're saying that this is bottom, second mouth, is a wound. No, this isn't a wound. This is very symmetrical. Wounds don't happen in a symmetrical pattern. And it's clearly a lower jaw here that is malformed. And he's got a set of eyes that would have gone with the fish that this might have been. And he's got another set of eyes on top for this other mouth up here. This is the inevitable results of radiation, but I'm also here to share that my warning is not helping us because I think it's just a various amount of reasons. Number one, I'm heavily shadow banned and restricted in the reach of my voice, but also I'm a woman, and the credibility of what I'm saying has been marginalized. There's a Greek myth or legend of this woman called Cassandra who's and was supposed to be an oracle. I'm not saying that's what I am at all. I'm just saying that it I that story reminds me of me, where she was doomed to predict the future, and nobody would believe her. When I first heard that, I was like, wow, okay, I think that's going to be me. But I had hoped that because of who we are and that we have such an understanding of who the devil is, that I would be able to surmount that obstacle. I don't think that I can. Not in the manner that I've done, and also just because it's so easy to dismiss what I'm saying, and the enemy provides excuses. He provides distractions aplenty, so that it's easy. Everybody wants to talk about what everybody else is talking about, what's popular. And anything attached to me, unfortunately, is going to be marginalized along with me. With the removal of my channels, I wouldn't mind that. I really don't mind. I can sit back and say, okay, that's unfortunate because it was such a body of evidence that I collected, and that's why they removed it, because it would interfere with that other narrative where it's easy for people to say, oh, it's that unjokeable. But if it's the unjokeable, then you could put it at a distance from yourself. You could say, well, even if you got it, you could say, well, I won't get any more. And then you think you're safe. But Dr. Yuri Bandashevsky, all of his research proved that no, you're not. No, I'm not. And especially with them importing food from Fukushima, none of us are. But all my work, it takes a daggone long time to write books. It takes a long time. And I'm not upset that at this point in time, no one's buying my books. Even though they have 5-star reviews, This Black even has, if it were registered honestly, This Black would have all 5-star reviews. It's because there are so many people who dislike me on social media because I interfere with their ability to scam us, to lie to us, and they thug supports that. So in writing This Black, that one also has all 5-star reviews. There were people who would come in and just, I didn't know, you don't have to purchase a book in order to go in and leave a review. So there were people who go in and just leave 1 star. And there would be no word, there's no verified purchase on it whatsoever. And so to have put that much labor and that much love, I recognize that it's not that I'm a bad writer, I'm a good writer, but I'm writing for another time. And beautiful, wise Sister Gwen B gave it excellent reviews. But she said the truth because she's a truthful sister, that it's poetry, and she was explaining how you could read my books. And that you would have to explain to someone that, this is the way that you could read this book. Most of us are then going to say, well, I don't want that book. I can't blame you. Who wants 500 pages of poetry? Okay. So it's an amazing story, but it's tanked. It's down. It's all the way down at the bottom, which on the other flip side, which is a victory for me, um, is Brother Yapo's book, Melanin, made it to #1 in the African American Black science fiction. That's a beautiful thing. And my super stoked congratulations to our brother because, woo, controlling our Black narrative is essential. It's absolutely essential. And that's what Brother Yapo is about. So, I mean, it's just beautiful to scroll down and see right on over here is it's even gone up here. It's number 26 in Black and African American science fiction, but there's some other way, and I don't know exactly how to get there, where it's #1 in newly released literature. That's astounding. Congratulations, brother. This brother's always been 100% behind me. So I'm 100 and a million% behind his success. And he acknowledges my warning and what I've been putting out here, and he's done his own research enough to verify that I've never lied to you. So it's like, when you know somebody who's a terrible singer, really bad, and you just are like, I gotta let that person know. You not buying my books has let me know that I'm a grown up, and so I have to do what will keep me fiscally sound. And right now, this is just crazy. That's my only income are those books. And with the labor that goes into them, it makes no logical sense to continue writing. So even though Sister Gwen B did that other amazing share about pro-Black literature, that she wants to see more of it, I'm not the person to get more of it from. Even when it comes to documenting Fukushima, I wanted to write another book about that, but I would have to be able to make some income of some sort from the other books, and I'm not making any. So I have to veer off from that completely and just get to crafting other things and veer off from even giving the warning out because I'm not helping us. I'm ghettoizing a topic that is universally deadly and mutagenic. And if it's going to be attached with me, with my personality, with my gender, I'm not helping you. I'm not helping you. As many people say, oh, Sister Ajali, this is your job. You got to do that. That's stupid. That's stupid. Right? Because I'm not effective. That's the fact at the end of looking at everything that I've done. If it's that easily to just sideline every single piece of work I've done, and even though I got the documentation in hard data that you could hold in your hand, and people are going to run from it. Our beautiful sister Lashid, she said that, and she says it to me, like on a regular, because it's real for her that what I share, it scares her. I think it scares a lot of people, and it sounds like some sort of doom and gloom when I'm bringing cures and remedies and the only hope so that we can eventually get our food tested, because that's where I would go. And now I'm seeing that I'm not going to be able to achieve that pretty much. And will we listen? Or would I get a big giant lab and I wouldn't even have a voice because I've been trying to get venues to speak at, and it's not happening. It's just not. So it's not up to a woman to do this. With all the work I've put in, I couldn't save Coolio and all the others that I see passing so they would learn the steps to chelate the radiation out of their bodies. And that's definitely not being effective because I've turned understanding their best genocidal weapon ever into something of a joke, something so associated with me that I'm sure there are brothers out there who are like, nah, I don't want to do that because I'm going to look like I'm, running behind the skirt of Ajali, Sister Ajali. That's really, really detrimental for not just Coolio, for all of us. So again, my ashe and my condolences on the passing of Coolio. I had our transition before their time playlist. That's gone. Um, and I'm not saying that Coolio died from the man-made radiation, but he died in Los Angeles. I know he spent a majority of his adult life in Los Angeles. I've shown the data that the West Coast got hammered. And that's the whole reason why everything is escalated to a point of lunacy. I predicted it years and years back, is because they're trying to distract us away from the epic die off of all the other creatures so that we don't realize same things happening to us. Okay? I had talked about the horses. I talked about our youth dying, the athletes dying, long before anything was artificially superimposed on all of that. Okay? So I'm saying that I don't know if it comes in my heart to speak on something related to man made radiation, then I guess I will. But overall, I think this is my just pulling away from this advocacy and not doing shares like I've been doing, even doing them once every other day or once a day. I'm just stopping and when I'm going to do the soap, which again, when I, put that out there in front of people, that's why I know it's something about me that's attached to me because people are like, oh, it's that radiation lady. Even though my soap is the bomb. That soap is so luxurious. It's so moisturizing. I love my soap. So I'm going to make my soap again and I'm going to announce that you can get my soap. And I'll try also to introduce other products. That's where I have to build on things that I craft. And that takes time. It takes, a little bit of effort, even though I'm going to streamline it so that it's not as much of a labor effort as it was in wrapping and packaging to get it out to you. And yeah, I got other ideas that I'm just going to do. I'm not going to talk about them so that I can just live my life and be a grown up. That's a beautiful thing. And I love my life. That I'm so blessed. And I thank Allah for that. And again, my condolences to Coolio's family and my ashe to his spirit. May our ancestors and Allah greet you with open arms. Love your family. I'll talk to you, I don't know, when I talk to you, but not at all like I have been. I wish everyone the very, very best. You are still my joy, my absolute, complete joy. Peace and blessings, straight black family.